Hi. I'm not on. Hi. Welcome to Monday nights. Hi. Hello. Welcome to Monday night. Am I on now? Oh, good. Thank you guys so much for joining me on iCannabis Radio. My name is Georgia, and I always get such a kick out of my little one doing that introduction. I'm in the studio with a bunch of friends. It's pretty cool. Of course, my producer, Chris. What's the haps, my friend? He says, hello, I'm working hard. I can't possibly talk to you. And, of course, Sam's in the studio as well. Hi, Sam. Sam just celebrated a birthday, so if you could all wish Sam.
Celebrated?
I heard celebrated, too.
I said smellabrated. Smellabrated.
Cool.
So happy birthday.
Like stripper
Right.
oil.
Oh, you guys. Sam's mom listens.
Well,
Hi, Mom.
I'm not going to
He's a
say
man.
anything.
And of course, of course, we are in the studio with the one, the only JDR. What's happening?
How's it going?
It's going well. Something smells really good, like oranges, all of a sudden.
I'm eating a candy, but it's
Usually-
grape.
My nose is not that bad.
It's a medicated grape, so I don't know.
Nice. And of course, it's the first Monday of the month. Did you guys know that? I don't know what happened, but March is gone. April is here. And I know if you guys were listening last week that you were like, oh, it must have been the first of the month last week because...
April Fools.
Yeah, right? Because John and John from Mountain Wookies were here in my absence, and they are here again. And it sounds a lot like you're farting. Maybe that's why it was oranges.
Oh, my goodness.
So say hello, Johns.
Hola.
Hello, Johns.
Why did I know that was going to happen? I don't know. So you guys took the Christian Easter holiday off yesterday, correct?
Yes.
The what?
Yes.
The Christian Easter holiday.
No, I went fishing. I didn't take anything off.
Well, that's why you closed your store.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the excuse I use
That's
to close my
right.
store.
Right.
Wait, does fishing count as work?
That's why I'm sore today.
I was going to say he's tired. I think it does count as work.
It's bouldering when you're down on the Platte.
See, I was under the impression that fishing meant you sat either next to a body of water or on a boat in a body of water.
No, you gotta keep moving.
Yeah, you crawl through a river and over boulders and through like raspberry. I got all scratched.
You do have
up.
scratches.
Yeah.
See that?
It's real. It's
that's
real
fishing.
fishing.
So what is it? What is what I'm thinking of when you stand next to or in a boat on a body of water?
Lake fishing.
Bait fishing. Yeah.
See
Bait
that?
fishing.
That's beer drinking fishing.
Yeah, exactly. I was going
This
to
is
say
if
beer
you
fishing.
drink beer, you'll break your leg and have to be helicoptered out.
So don't do that.
Yeah, well, smoke.
Take
And
your
you-
vape pen.
And you were looking for some Colorado trout.
Yeah, I missed it.
Any trout.
Probably a 22-inch.
You take visiting
I'll
trout.
take any trout.
Some of those
Kinda like
My
a baby
420
trout.
tours visiting trout
For sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you have a fish story that I don't know if I believe or not.
Well, to believe it or not, it doesn't matter.
Lies and flies.
He's like, I don't care.
Yeah. I saw it with my own two eyes. It was 8 feet from me. My own 4 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're a smart ass. I like that. All right, cool.
Heavy on the ass part.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It was 10 feet earlier.
Yeah.
10 feet earlier.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about. I had to take these off right now. Whew, my head was getting a little squished with those things. Sorry.
That's why I go with the inner.
Oh yeah, I think that's much smarter. And I work so hard on my hair. Just kidding. Just kidding. So we're gonna take Glass Monday to a slightly different realm today. We're gonna talk less about glass, the apparatus, and more about glass as a business. And I'm really glad that Tim's here too, because Tim has spent the last several months on the other end of that business as well. But I'm really excited to talk about your new business and your new shop and what that's going to entail. And we are going to do that, but we're not going to do that this very second. Oh, was that a good teaser or what?
It was awesome.
I do want to talk a little bit about news, if that is a-okay. On the chat room, they're saying Angel's on, and she says, "Hello, Johns." I love that. That's so funny. We are. This isn't newsy. This is just informational. We are. iCannabis Radio is really proud to be a sponsor for the fundraiser for Bowling for Lorelei, the fundraiser for the little 2-year-old girl who has brain cancer. and it's a pretty insidious, rare form of brain cancer. And please, 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 we ask it, all of you who can attend. It is this Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Classic 300 Bowling in Colorado Springs. That's 1867 North Circle in Colorado Springs. You can see the event poster is on the screen right now. Thanks, Chris. And I know that it's really hard for lots of people to show up at these events, but this is made to be a very family-friendly fundraiser. Lorelai is a precious, darling girl, and her family really wants as many people to show up as possible, not just because raising money is important, but because that shows support, and the show of support is just critical.
How can a child that young even, be anything but, wonderful and precious and amazing? So that's something that...
Because they're pain in the neck sometimes.
Well, but if in this situation they're so innocent, that it's just something horrible.
It's so unfair for someone to
through.
have to go through that, much less someone who's 2 and can't even begin to fathom or understand what's happening.
It's just torture for them, really. It's horrible.
It is. And so please show your support. If you are unable to make it, there is a way to donate. If you go to c4cpr.org, that's C, the number 4, cpr.org. Go to their PayPal donate site. You can donate through them and just earmark the money for the Bowling for Lorelai fundraiser. But please, as many people who can show up as possible, they would really appreciate it. And whatever amount of money you can give would be much, much appreciated for this family. Going through this is challenging. And, we've talked to a lot of parents of medical marijuana patient children on this show, children who are medical marijuana patients. And they never get past that original kind of stigma. I mean, it's a big deal to make the jump to giving your child medical marijuana, even though doctors say it's safe. And I mean, Chaz Moore's physician, his neurologist, was the one who suggested that he try medical marijuana. So it wasn't even his parents who made that initial suggestion. But it's hard, and so this family needs to know that there's a community of people who believe that they're making the right, brave, intelligent decision.
I was like in Weed Country. I watched all 6 episodes last night, and in it, little Ben has epilepsy, and there's a guy in there that's trying to find CBD-rich strains for him, and throughout the 6 episodes, it talks about how much of a really big chance this guy's taking, and not only making a concentrate in California and the situation that entails with that, but also giving it to a child. I mean, it's really something. It's something that we don't necessarily all think about all the time, or at least I don't. To us, it's just medicine a lot of time. We see cannabis for what it is, and you don't necessarily put yourself, at least I don't, in that position of where you can be hung out to dry because of you're caring about someone.
Well, and we talk about this all the time. We are so insulated in Colorado. We are with like-minded people. We are with open-minded people who have gotten accustomed to, even if they're not intimately involved in, have gotten accustomed to the legalization of medical marijuana, that this isn't as shocking and surprising. But we do have to look at it with other eyes, and not everyone has the same, is not lucky enough to have the same circle that we do here in Colorado.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty awesome.
So again, really quick, on Wednesday, the 3rd of April at 6 p.m., Classic 300 Bowling. It has been a long... When's the last time you guys bowled?
It's been a long time.
Bowling is awesome.
A couple of years.
Sam knows. He knows it was August. It's hurt. He's still suffering some pain. Yeah, I think maybe that should be a fun thing for us to do.
Shape.
No, build up your forearms.
Well,
I don't know what that means.
Can't you just
I have
granny
no clue
shot
what that
it?
means.
Can't you just? You can right? You can just push it down the. You don't have to
you can
put it in the holes
put
and
the gutter guards
bumpers
up,
up, man. Yeah.
Can I ask
Bumper
a question? Do they clean bowling balls on the inside? Do they?
No, those people's boogers are still in there,
dude. For real, it's always. I always wash your hands, and bowling alley is not the cleanest place. Sticking your hands in those.
Okay, so
your shoes too. Like you're wearing everybody.
Do you have to wear their shoes?
They do spray it with that anti-microbial stuff, but you do have to wear bowling shoes. I think in most places,
you
can't just wear regular shoes because you ruin their floor.
Right.
Yeah, your own bowling.
My
shoes
own
you can
bowling
bring.
shoes.
Right,
Where do
but
you
they
buy
have-
bowling shoes?
Gart Brothers Internet.
At the internet.
Sam, you can get everything on the
At
internet.
the, at the internet.
Yeah, at .com.
Where'd you get that? I got that at the .com.
You just go to bowlingshoes.com, man, and it's
I wonder-
right there.
Oh man, we just gave free advertising to something.
Yeah.
Probably.
But nonetheless, go, show up, have a good time, and we might think about doing a bowling event pretty soon. Just
I do
That's
like
something to
bowling.
think
Bowling
about.
is
bowling
fun.
event.
Where's my
I bet my
sponsor?
little one will kick your ass.
I've bowled in league a couple times.
Oh, then
so I
never
doubt
mind.
he's going to kick my butt. He might beat me, but butt kicking probably won't happen.
Yeah, I don't think.
Unless
he'll-
he's going to bowl like 180 plus, then he's not going to kick my butt.
Yeah, here's what's going to happen. So he's going to pick out a ball, and it's going to be all pretty. He's going to be really excited about it, and then he's going to shoot it one time, and then he's going to see that there's an arcade.
Oh,
And he's going to be pieced out until the pizza comes. Then he's going to come back, and then he's going to throw the ball again. Meanwhile, 3 games have passed. And then he's going to remember that there's an arcade, and he's going to be,
Yeah.
that's really what's going to happen.
That's awesome.
and yeah, there'll be sugar consumption in there.
Right.
They
Oh,
do the black and white or the glow in the dark night.
What was
bowling
that?
Stuff. Yeah,
Cosmic bowl.
cosmic bowling now.
Midnight bowling.
Keep
Yeah,
everybody's
that's
attention.
awesome.
really?
Yeah,
They like
Pink
DJs.
Floyd.
Yeah.
Oh.
Night
Down in
bowling.
Austin, they used to do the fog machines, and that's when we'd blaze. And
Nuh-uh.
yeah,
But clearly you're not competitive.
at
Bowling.
bowling.
Well,
Jump.
yeah. I mean, maybe when you were in your leagues, but not.
Well, I mean, no, we were drunk. Yeah, the first.
I don't think you're
the-
really too competitive at the midnight bowling.
It was like league bowling, and the other guys in the group. I was consistent, so I would throw a consistent like 150 games.
Did you have your own ball?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
I did at
wasn't
one point in time.
serious.
when I was like
I was like
10.
fill-in league guy. I'd bowl like 3 or 4 times in the course of like 10 weeks. And that's
Really?
that's good enough for me. Yeah, they'd call me when somebody was. had
He was
something to
the
do.
alternate.
I was the alternate. Yeah, it was perfect. No obligation. I didn't have to pay any dues. I didn't have to wear a
Oh,
shirt.
dude.
Yeah, I had all the pluses without the cons.
My mom and stepdad used to own a bowling alley in Kremlin when I was little. I used to bowl quite a bit, but not so much
Is there
anymore.
still a bowling alley in Kremlin?
No, it got it was
It's Grand Lake now.
yeah, it was just completely it's Kremlin?
Isn't Kremlin the snowmobile capital of the universe?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. There's a lot of snowmobiles there.
A couple cats from the X
Per
Games.
capita, there's like 8 snowmobiles per person.
Yeah.
Is Tabernash next to Kremlin?
I haven't heard of
Nothing's
Tabernash.
next to anything out there,
I know, right?
but it's
Kremlin's cold as heck.
Yep.
That's where I was born.
High Mountain Valley. It's like Alamosa.
There's like this
Cold.
Kremlin's-
Kremlin's actually pretty cool. It's not like one of the normal small towns. I mean, I guess what makes it cool is that big rock right there in Kremlin. As you go through, there's just that huge cliff on the right side of the town. I can't remember what it's called.
Big Rock.
They launch fireworks and stuff off there every year.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's what it's
cool.
called. Big Rock, officially. Big Rock.
A big freaking rock. We drive through Kremlin on the way to Steamboat, right? Isn't that how you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to live in
40.
Steamboat too. Yeah, Highway 40.
Highway 40.
Going up towards Rabbit Ears.
Wait, Highway
Ugh.
40, and then in Kremlin you take a left on Highway 9. Right when you get to Highway 9 in Kremlin, take a left, and
Oh.
then
Okay.
that's when you're going to Steamboat.
Nice.
So I'm sure our listeners love that.
Yeah, yeah. For anyone who wants to get from Kremlin to Steamboat, we just saved you some work on MapQuest.
It's not like you can't use the internet for that. Like,
Yeah, we
Once
watched
again,
Maps.com.
the medicinal fried chicken of South Park the other day, and they had to go to Salida to the other KFC. It's like awesome.
South Park.
Nowhere else, no other TV show would they reference a town of like 5,000.
right?
Nobody believed Casa Bonita was real off of South Park either.
yeah.
I still hear that today.
I still want to. I mean, aren't they going to close pretty soon?
No,
they'll never close.
they make a lot lot
They're bankrupt.
but the
Because
situation
of
was they couldn't.
old debt.
Well, they couldn't get the company since their debt, and then also there's no business loans. There was no business loans going out at the time, so there was a story that they went bankrupt and they were going to close, but they're not.
Oh, so I don't feel this rush.
Every
to
time you go in there, it's like packed. There's like 1 million people in line. A million people in line, and you have to pay it's like a minimum $8 plate. And the worst food in the world by far, the worst.
but it's all you can eat.
The people are
Not really.
embarrassed to hand it out to you, so they stick it out through a little tray. In
They
the
do.
wall.
They like it comes flying out like you were in the lunchroom at school. It comes flying out of this like behind this like steel wall with like a
That's not the lunchroom at school. The lunchroom at school is, hey girl, how are you? It's so good to see you. That is a pretty. I remember this so much. That is a pretty pink dress you're wearing. Nice. Next person. Hi son, you look good. How was your math test today? That was our lunch lady.
Wow, she was really nice.
She knew
Your lunch lady was nice.
Oh my
Our
gosh.
lunch ladies were every lunch lady I ever had was a troll.
He's like a troll.
What?
Joe Day.
And yeah, the hairy moles and all that.
There's something about Casa Medina too that everybody should know. When you go in there and you don't see a single, which this is not racist at all. I'm not. This is just a clear observation. When you go in there and you don't see a single Mexican, there's probably a good clue that's not the best place to
Mexican
eat.
food? Yeah.
I mean, seriously, every single person in that place
Is not Mexican.
dude.
Yeah.
It blew me away the other night.
We are going to have to take a break. Right, Chris? All right. You've been listening to I Can Make Radio. I'm Georgia, and we will be back with some news stories and some glass stories and some mountain Wookiness.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's getting awful Wookie in here.
It smells Wookie.
Whoa.
Be right back. High up in the Rockies is beautiful Frisco, Colorado. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies is a medical marijuana center with compassion for Colorado's medical patients. Looking for great meds grown organically in soil? You've come to the right place. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies is just off I-70 at exit 203. Check them out at the web at www.mmrockies.com. Their ever-changing strain and clone selection is updated on the website daily. When making a trip to the mountains, no matter the season, stop by Medical Marijuana of the Rockies. Make sure you say you heard about them on iCannabis Radio. You can call 970-668-MEDS to get more information. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, your mountain source for meds.
The law offices of Edson, Maiden, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
I said, talk it up, Colorado. We've been playing that for a long time. You guys didn't know that was coming, huh?
Gary Johnson is the man.
Gary Johnson is a man. And he's the man. I'm just kidding. And he's the man. Just kidding, Gary.
That was awesome.
Anyway, so I did have a couple of quick news stories I wanted us to talk about, okay? Okay? Is it okay?
Hooray! Let's talk about news. Let's do it.
Well, I personally, when I went to one of the Amendment 64 task force waste of time meetings that are moments in my life I will never get back.
Task Force Zero.
There was some, I don't even remember who said it, but I don't think that voters voted for people to be able to smoke pot and come here from other places to smoke pot. I don't think voters voted for tourism. And I kind of looked around the room and I'm thinking, am I the only one in this room that thought that would be an awesome idea and absolutely voted for tourism? Because I'm not alone. Yeah. I'm a far more conservative voter than a lot of people, but I am not alone, right?
This is the new world.
This is the world, right? Yeah. Finally, this is the world. This is the world that we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for new businesses, new economic opportunities, ways to get people jobs, ways to bring people more enjoyment out of their life. And if we can make money at the same time and people can spend their money here in Colorado, fan-freaking-tastic. No one's getting hurt, right?
Right.
Right. So in USA Today, there was an article on, My 420 Tours, a company started by Matt Brown and JJ Walker, who are going to do their first 420 tours, bringing people here during what they're calling Cannabis Week. And, that's over 420 week. And they, because there isn't a way for them to be able, for people out of state to be able to purchase cannabis, they're going to cannabis events. So they're going to go on dispensary grow tours. They're going to have a hash making demonstration. They're going to go to the High Times Cannabis Cup, those kinds of events. And I just think this is fantastic. They're going to go to a cannabis-friendly hotel.
Yeah. I heard they're picking you up from the airport and giving you free greens.
Where is this said cannabis-free hotel?
I think it's the Warwick. That's from what I read. I think it's a Warwick, which is
You know how to find out for sure, though?
Oh.
Next week, Monday night, Matt Brown will be in the studio to talk about my 420 tours.
Okay.
nice.
And he says,
Nice.
give him your credit card number and your email address, and he will text you directions.
Right. So they've sold about 170 packages that range in price from $499 to
$420 to $4,200.
You know, 420 would have been funny, but not. It's not. $499 to $849 a person, depending on what events and so forth are included in your package. So it's happening. It's happening, and we'll see what Cannabis Week is going to look like. So next week, do not forget to tune in so that you can find out more about
the
marijuana
federal
tourism.
indictments for the people who get on the
Yay.
internet and offer services like this.
Different services are offered on that internet thing too. Just so you know. that
I'm
internet.
just saying, like
So-
Craigslist has all the MMJ lists, or like no red card needed listings now. You seen all
Oh
that
really?
stuff?
No.
Yeah, those people are nuts.
That is nuts. This is a good idea, though. I mean, I wish I had something to do with this.
My 420 tours.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea because I think it's going to be not only this 420, but I mean all year round. I mean, and especially
Cannabis 4th of July.
Yeah, the years coming.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be events that build throughout the year.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
can you
that's-
imagine during ski season?
Well, yeah. Once Vail or Aspen says, I mean, Breck's already like, hey, it's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool,
It's
but
legal in Breck before it was in the whole state.
right. So you look at what happens once Vail and Aspen start throwing huge festivals.
Netherlands.
Well,
Netherland?
Vail
Yeah,
may
Ned's-
never, since Vail has.
Ned's the most
Screw
hippie
Vail.
place on
I
earth.
we won't go and spend money in Vail. We won't even ski in Vail, and it's
See,
one
exactly.
because it's at the point in time that you
But
decide that you're going to ban medical marijuana dispensaries. Screw you.
Oh yeah, Vail.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Winter
once-
Park. Screw you too.
Yeah.
There's tons of other
Mary
great
Jane.
places to go.
They banned MMJ dispensaries.
It's
So
funny.
Mary
Winter Park
Jane.
has
go to Keystone.
Mary Jane.
Yeah,
band
go
Mary
to
Jane.
Dillon.
I know how
and
ironic is
Frisco.
that.
yeah,
I blew my knee out on Mary Jane.
Mary Jane is a
Right here.
skier's mountain though. It's not really a borders place. They got too many moguls on that dang thing.
Oh, you scared of some bumps.
On a board, maybe. Well, how fun is it to go down the mountain on a snowboard
And you
with
know what?
moguls? Like you're
We don't want you on the bumps because you know what you do on the bump on a snowboard? You
Slice it off.
Slice it off. Exactly. So
I caught a mogul really bad one time when I was like stopping front side. I was like backwards and I was like facing up the hill, and my back edge caught the mogul. I thought I was already down. I twisted my back so bad.
Oh.
And I had to like hike like 2 miles through like waist deep snow. It's like taking breaks every
Naked.
chance I could get. Naked? Is that what you said? Mm-hmm. No, not naked. That would.
I mean, that's always what people say when they.
Oh, my
I had
God.
to walk to school in the 2 feet of
10
snow
miles.
without any shoes on.
Dude, I mean, have you seen how I would,
On my
I would,
hands.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that one yet.
Blindfolded.
There's no meat on me whatsoever.
I know, you would-
I would just snap.
Yeah. Well, it's.
I'd try to like dig myself out of the snow and just
60 degrees is probably your max.
pretty much it is, man.
Okay, so tourism, yay! Someone was saying on the chat room that people are pretty excited about tours. They are a great idea. Someone also mentioned bed and breakfasts. I mean, I think that before long, people are going to be so creative and so wonderful about all these fantastic ways to help cannabis tourism. I mean, I keep thinking,
As long as they let it go.
as long as they let it go. I just, no one thinks twice about going to wine country and tourism to go to the vineyards in Napa Valley and Sonoma. And
Nobody
and
tells them how many wine grapes they can grow on their property.
no one tells them how many grapes to grow. That's right.
You can
But
only
I mean, if you're worried about reputation, then make it. When you go to Napa Valley and you go to these wineries, they're beautiful and
Yeah.
and lovely, and it doesn't feel like this underground thing. But the more that the government tries to say no, smoking cannabis for people outside of Colorado is bad, the more these are going to feel like underground, prohibition-y kinds of things. And
Yeah.
let's take advantage of this. People will spend money to have safe, enjoyable vacations that include cannabis.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
That is brilliant.
I think there's going to be places opening up
Well
all over the
said.
place. I mean, it's as long as they let it. Like we said, there's a chance that they may not allow. Well, I mean, there'll be tourism. There'll be companies opening up to cater to what's going on here in Colorado. But like on-site consumption. That issue with dispensaries when they banned that. People being able to go to a bed and breakfast and smoke in the bed and breakfast. I mean, situations like that are still going to be have to be hammered out. And luckily, it's happening here in Colorado. Those decisions, and because the people
and
here,
not in DC.
Yeah, and not in other places, because people here are so good at the grassroots movement. I mean, a lot of times we don't ask for permission. We just kind of do it, and then things form to what we've wanted to happen. So, and
there's some benefits to that, and then there's some drawbacks to that.
There is.
Certainly there's the whiplash effect where
Yeah.
you go out and you become Club 64, which everyone thinks is a good idea, but you put it out there in the faces of the legislators as they're making rules, and the general populace is concerned about it. And so what do? You make a rule stricter than you may have intended to, or you may have initially, if that hadn't been kind of blown up at the same time. I mean, it's the same thing that's happening with the Medical Marijuana Enforcement Division. So they get this audit that says, hey, you haven't been doing your job, and you're clearly unfunded, and there's all of these things that you said you were going to do to keep the medical marijuana business on track and well tracked and safe, and to ensure that seed to sale tracking is in place. But you haven't been able to do that. And so what does the Med do in reaction to it? They're like, crap, you know what? This is true. All of this information about, in our audit is true. We haven't been able to keep up because we haven't had a budget to do so. So just to show that we're going to go and flex our muscles, and we're going to go and we're going to bust people for doing dumb stuff like being over their plant count and those kinds of things. And it's that reaction.
Is that what they went out and did at the end of last week?
It is.
Because I was hearing of people saying that there was surprise inspections in their dispensaries. So I'm sure they probably got people, because people, I mean, but the thing is, the sky wasn't falling. There was nobody dying. There's no issue with it. It's just that these rules are overburdensome, and now they can go, crack down on a lot of people. Because people, what's funny is the dispensary owners don't know the rules. A lot of them. I mean, most of them know the general rules, but there are so many details that some of these dispensary owners just do not know. I mean, the camera situation was a situation for a long time to where dispensaries were putting that in, and then rules changed for that. And
well, I think some of it
badges.
too is whether or not people know the rules. I can't necessarily speak to, but I think there's an issue with, if you know that the rule you're supposed to follow is not being enforced and no one cares about it, and that rule is burdensome, you may choose not to follow it.
Oh yeah.
Do I agree with that? No, because I'm a rule follower kind of person, but I think that that's not uncommon. If someone's like, I forgot my badge today, they're never going to look at the camera, it doesn't really matter, then they won't follow it. And so they really have to make rules that matter. I mean, they're talking about getting rid of this whole badge thing anyway, and that's very burdensome and very costly to the state, and just allowing business owners to go ahead and do background checks on folks. And
so that's
Will
talk
they
there.
Are they going to allow felons to work?
They probably won't.
It's been brought up already. It's almost the same rule as what MMJ is.
Well, part of the problem
a felon
is
can work at a liquor store, right? I'm pretty sure,
but not in gambling. Someone who's had a gambling felony can't work in gambling. Huh.
You can't get a gaming license if you have a felony. They're not going to give it to you. So I don't know if that's going to change. I mean, it's been talked about. There is an introduction felonies. You cannot have a sale. I mean, there's going to be some felon rules, and that's what I was going to ask you is if they're getting rid of the cards for medical marijuana. I mean, you would figure that through the DOR that everybody's going to have to get badged as it is now, but they're going to do that away with that wholly.
They're just talking.
I can't imagine.
They're just talking about it. They're just talking about it. Well, because
that would be awesome.
Part of the problem is that the way that the badging works, they've been providing badges to people before their background checks come back, and then they have to turn around and which is just because it takes more than 24 hours to get that background check back, and so they wanted to be responsive to people looking to get badges, because took months for people to.
So did they got that behind on it? Because I know when people went, you could get your badge that day at one point, but they got so behind on it.
No, you could leave with your badge. They hadn't gotten your background check.
Okay, that's what it was.
So so you would fill out a form that
Why
said,
did I not go get my badge?
Well, because it would have been taken away from you. Because they
maybe
at the point in time that they're
maybe
well, and
if they caught it.
True. True.
But I
we're
also
assuming
wanted
that
to
you're
follow
gonna be-
the rules, and I didn't want to
Right.
get any of the dispensaries in trouble. That was the main reason why, as a felon, I didn't go, because being on John Doe Radio and going in I didn't want to put a dispensary out like that. I mean, that's a huge infraction, and that could possibly lead to them not being able to be, first come first serve in recreational.
Right. Before we take a break, I want to talk a little bit about what happened today with Colorado's DUI-D bill. So we've talked about this before, that for now the third legislative session in a row, Colorado is trying to enact a ridiculous law on top of a law that already exists. So it's already against the law to drive under the influence of drugs and alcohol, correct?
Yes.
Correct. So do you think it makes sense to put another law in place just because people are scared of marijuana?
Thanks, Washington.
No, thanks, Washington. Exactly. So this bill would say that drivers should be considered impaired if their blood alcohol level is more than 5 nanograms of THC per milliliter, which any...
I'm like 56 right now.
Blood alcohol level there?
If their blood contains... Did I say that?
Yeah,
did I
you
say
did.
blood alcohol level?
It's okay.
Sorry.
I do that all the time.
Their blood contains more than 5 nanograms of THC per milliliter. But this year's session, it's slightly different this year. As opposed to a per se limit, the person who is arrested for driving under the influence of drugs would be able to have a case to say that they were indeed sober, even if they had more than 5 nanograms. Unfortunately, today, the vote by the House Appropriations Committee clears the proposal for a vote by the full House, which will probably happen this week. So write your legislators and tell them that you think this is a crock of shit.
You have to prove your innocence.
After
Right.
you
You
have to
spend the night in
prove-
the drunk tank.
Right.
This is America. I thought you were innocent until
you're
proven guilty.
completely sober in there. You're just like, okay, why am I in here?
I know
Right.
that would
You
suck.
happen to be a cancer patient? Like, let's have that be the first test case.
Well,
It's horrible.
yeah,
It's horrible.
If they're going to play these games, why don't they follow judges, lawyers, and guys like that around the first, driving home or driving after they leave home? And catch a couple of them first before they go out and bust a bunch of young, people who can't afford the litigation and all that. Because they'll dismiss it if they're like, hey, I wasn't impaired. Well, sir, you're legally this or that.
How are you going to argue in court that you were not impaired if you tested positive for a drug? I mean, the court is going to... The courts have always said that if you have THC in your system... I mean, there's multiple times they've said that you're high. If you test positive for THC, you're high.
Hopefully that dash cam, you ask that the officer make you go through some roadside sobriety kinds of things. Mm-hmm.
That's about the only way that you're going to argue it, probably. I'm not a lawyer, but...
I'd get a lawyer.
I'm not married to a lawyer either. But you are.
I am, but I never asked him about what would happen if I got pulled over.
We
That's
talked to him
all
a little bit about it
subjective
today.
anyway.
Nothing would
To
happen
the
to you. You
officer.
don't ingest any kind of cannabis.
True that. True that. But I would probably fail a roadside.
Yeah, there's
Just in general, I just am not good at those things. Just
you can't
not.
say you're ZYXWVUTSRQP. I can
Right.
say half of it.
I can't even stand on one
Most
foot.
days I can say everything.
So we're supposed to take a quick break, right? We'd like to thank our sponsor, Cuffle Eggert Collimore and Company. Cuffle Collimore and Company is your insurance for your dispensary and your grow. They have some of the only crop insurance available. Make sure that you call them, or better yet, use that thing called the internet and email Bob Collimore at rtc@iwic and ask him for a quote for your property insurance or for your crop insurance. If you are a dispensary owner or a grower, you definitely want to do this. You also need to know that you can get insurance if someone claims that they were made sick by your product. If they start puking, they're going to start suing. So make sure that you're covered. Call Cuffle Collimore and Company or contact them at rtc@iwic.net. We'll be right back.
Are you a medical marijuana patient or interested in finding out how to become one? Contact Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. Conveniently located on Hamden and Tamarack in the Whole Foods parking lot behind Proof of the Pudding, Mile High Wellness offers a wide variety of edibles, hashes, and some of Colorado's top strains. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. 3525 South Tamarack, Suite 110, on the corner of Hamden and Tamarack. 720-382-8516. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it. On grass. Runongrass.com.
Hi, we're back. That was like, I was glad I was kind of looking in your direction when you pointed, because I was kind of talking to John. Welcome back. You're listening to iCannabis Radio. I'm Georgia, and I'm in the studio with Chris and Sam and Tim and the Johns from Mountain Wookies. Hi, guys. Hey. So we've been talking about some news. You know, I'm bummed about the DUID, and I'm bummed that people think that that after year number 3, they've kind of given up doing anything about it, and that it's not a per se, and that that's some kind of okay compromise. I just don't understand why there has to be this separate rule. I mean, isn't it just to screw patients? Isn't that the whole reason to have that law?
Yep.
Money.
Yeah, it's to keep the
It's
legal
going to cost
system.
them money, though. Litigation from the state, they still have to pay someone to, you know, be the DA and the officer. I mean,
Well, they need to keep those people employed.
One of the
Right.
things on
And that's what they're looking at here. This is looking out for your constituency.
right?
the big thing on Weed Country that they were talking about was how
I hate that show.
I mean, it wasn't a horrible show.
This
It was
is what happens when you have a marathon of it last night. The whole rest of your day,
Yeah, I
you
know.
get to quote from it.
But see, it
But
also they
it's-
said, but see the arguments and I mean, there's a lot of updated arguments with these sheriff's officers and the people that were in this show. I mean, they were trying to take a new angle, and basically say that marijuana, even though this plant may not kill somebody, this plant may not kill somebody, this bowl may not kill somebody, but it's this one that's going to kill somebody. Because
For the
that
first
person
time in a
gets
million years?
that person gets in a car and drives and kills somebody. That was a big thing that they're pushing right now, and that's what I'm hearing from law enforcement all over. Is that that's the thing that they have in their cap right now. The feather in their cap is like the DUI thing.
I don't disagree.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
disagree
silly.
with not wanting to be responsible for that one that. But we already have a law in place for that. Again, we already have a law in place.
You're damaging more people by tearing up those plants than you are by helping anybody, because there's a good chance that somebody, life is going to be affected positively by that cannabis, more likely than somebody's life's going to be affected negatively. Now, I still do buy into the gangs and stuff. I mean, that's something that if we legalize more and more, that black market will go away. I don't think that there'd be these huge national forest grows if we had, a whole
Right.
country full of shops. It just, I don't think it would happen. It wouldn't be feasible for these people to go and do it.
But I always make that argument. Colorado is not California. There
No.
are no huge outdoor grows. I mean, like the biggest ones ever busted were like 7,000 plants. Every grow they bust out there is 7,000
Yeah.
plants,
Yeah.
or 20,000, or 50,000, or 200,000.
Very hard to grow outdoors here in Colorado. I mean,
It's damn near impossible. That's why
It's a
nobody-
smaller state.
Why even attempt it? I mean,
it's going to snow on your plants at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no reason, like the greed factor is not here like it is out there. Like no one's.
You can see that from weed prices. I mean, $60 an eighth in a lot of places, $50 an eighth in
and-
California
yeah, and-
still.
Oh yeah, OGs are still 60 or 70 an eighth.
Here in
And-
Colorado, you got $150 ounces.
Yeah, or
$125 an
an
MMT of Colorado.
Yeah, you better find yourself a Westward because they're
$75
hard to
ounces.
find those coupons.
Dispensaries are going to start having price wars, I think, to
And
keep
it's already a
patients
price
aboard
war.
their on their roster.
Instead of them going recreational. Well, the
Yep.
recreational pot's going to be expensive.
The taxes alone.
Yeah,
And they're going
it's
to talk
gonna
about that
be
this week.
50 to 60% excise taxes, right? What are they talking about this week?
Well,
Well, it's
this-
like 65% they were shooting for. It
Thursday morning, they're going to have this discussion.
was like 25,
Be there.
25, 15 or something. Like
25 and 15 is what I heard.
25 and 15 is not that
25,
bad.
15, and a sales tax.
Yeah, well, and if it's over, state and county or state and city, that's a lot of money.
It's
That's
going
right.
to be a lot. I mean, it's going to be costly.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that may keep medical marijuana patients in it, and I think that the legislature needs to possibly think about doing for everybody, is having medical marijuana patients tax exempt completely
Well, they will
across
be.
the board.
Well,
Is
Well,
that how
no,
they're
no,
going to do
they'll
it?
have sales tax. They'll continue to have sales tax, but they won't have these excise taxes.
Right.
But see, I mean,
which is
But
cool.
I think they should knock out sales tax too.
They would if it was a medicine. Like,
It is a medicine though, but I
Right.
understand what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
not sold out of a pharmacy, quote unquote,
Right.
and it's not have a little stamp by the feds. That doesn't mean though that the state can't say, "Hey,
we'll exempt
they're not
this.
gonna do.
It
They're
would
not
be-
gonna
it
give
would-
away free money."
It would be no, but it would be great. It would. I
And it
totally
would
agree
save.
with
It
you.
would possibly save the medical marijuana. I'm not saying that it's going to die the scene out here on medical marijuana dispensaries, but I mean, it could happen. We could see medical marijuana completely bulldozed in this state very quickly by recreational marijuana.
But the recreational is going to allow more research, so you are going to have the medicinal properties
Exactly, they're hand in hand.
exposed.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. That was my argument for Prop 19, for Amendment 64, for all these is that medical marijuana is only going to get better. Access is only going to be better for you.
Right.
Sucks that the price is going to be so high. though.
Well, I mean, there's going to be an access issue because there's going to be a supply and demand issue.
Right.
At least initially.
Initially,
It'll be-
influx of tourism is going to eat up a lot of the available.
Like with my 420 tours.
Yeah, everybody who shows up is going to be as soon as they get here, give me an ounce of weed.
do you remember what happened? though,
I
when-
can carry an ounce of weed. I want 27.9 grams.
Right.
when dispensaries popped up, wild west era here. I mean, there was quite a lot of greens coming from California here into Colorado. And it's going to be the same thing
their
here.
shit here.
And you can now fly from California to Colorado with marijuana, with a pretty good amount on you. Cuts, seeds, candies, edibles, everything. So, I mean, I'm not so sure that I think that the supply is going to be there. You just may not be able to get it in a store. So there's going to be the black market dealer is going to see rejuvenation for a little while.
Right now.
You think that the road from Cali to here is going to be flooded with hippies, opportunistic hippies?
I think the planes are going to be loaded with opportunistic hippies now that they can fly. But I mean, for a little while, I think that street dealers are you're going to have a little bit more easier of a time here in Colorado and I'm going to put we in here because I've sold before. And I mean, we haven't been able to do that here for the past couple of years. I mean, it's not been easy to sell marijuana to most of the people that I would know because they're all going to dispensaries or they grow themselves. So.
Well, and right now, the way A64 has turned out is at the point in time that anyone without a red card over the age of 21 can possess, they can't get it from anyone other than to get it from their friends. And
people with red cards are going to be dealers like mofos.
right?
That's already a problem here.
I mean,
there's a lot of people who are turning over.
I agree. I mean, it's like people,
Well,
can you go get me something here at the dispensary?
Right.
And it happens. I mean, it does happen a lot.
Yep. And I mean, and there's 70-year-old people doing it. It's not just like kids. There's old people who are supplying their nursing homes.
As well they should. As
Yeah.
well they should. So what else is happening on the other end of the spectrum? There have been reports about this massive increase in child poisoning from little kids eating medical marijuana edibles.
Poisoning.
Poisons.
Was there something bad in the marijuana edible?
Well,
Just
I mean,
I've had freakouts eating weed. So
I haven't.
You never eaten
Like we're poisoned though.
like over a gram of.
I've had like
hash
1,000, 2,000 milligram cookies before, and it doesn't affect me that much. It tastes like I about threw up because it tasted horrible, but
and you
I'm not a
continue
big
to eat
fan
it.
of.
See, that might get the kids to stop eating it if it tasted bad like that. So there was an article in Denver Post that was written by the Associated Press that Colorado doctors say loser pot laws.
That's not a bias headline.
Loser.
Loser.
I thought I was being funny.
Yep.
Looser
sounded like
pot
me.
laws are leading to more child poisonings for youngsters who are often attracted by drug-laced edibles like gummy worms or brownies. From early 2005 to late 2009, Children's Hospital had no emergency room visits by kids who had ingested marijuana. Let me just edit this. No reported emergency room visits by kids who had ingested marijuana in the following 2 years after medical marijuana became legal in Colorado, which is really funny because that would have you believe that medical marijuana became legal in Colorado in 2009, when we all know that it was 8 years earlier when that happened. in 2 years there were 14 cases. 14 cases. So far, no
7
deaths.
cases a year.
7 cases a year. Doctors are campaigning for mandatory safety packaging in Colorado because of recreational, assuming that there's going to be a lot more recreational edibles out there.
It's probably going to go through.
It's not such a bad idea, but there's no such thing as tamper proof. It's tamper resistant, and A, it's extremely costly, and B, you have no control over what happens once it leaves the store and it gets to someone's home. And to me, that's the bigger issue.
Yeah, how would they treat it if the kid got into some alcohol and drank alcohol and was wasted on booze?
Well, hopefully they'd treat it really seriously
not
because
only
they could die.
happened like 1,000 times, probably.
It's true. I mean, it'd be
In Colorado,
child
especially.
endangerment charges to be probably filed to be in said person in
Right.
that situation.
So, I mean, I would say that it'd be something. It's a neglect or a negligence issue.
You're not allowed to smoke in front of children in Colorado, and you're not allowed to have a grow in the same house. So those are some more of the, I guess, the lines drawn. I mean, the connections between alcohol and marijuana. Those are kind of the things that they talk about.
I mean, I think part of what happened is parents felt like if I say that my kid ingested an edible, they're not going to arrest me or prosecute me or do something horrible to me. So I'm going to be honest when I take my kid to the emergency room that something crazy has happened to them, because I'm worried that my kid is lethargic and their stomach hurts and they're confused. And I mean, we know that those things can happen, especially we're talking
Sounds
about
like
a
the
You
day
don't
after
want the
Easter.
doctor to
Right.
you don't want the doctor to misdiagnose it. And
and you don't want the
Well, they're
doctor
going to do a
miss-
drug test. I mean, that's probably something they would test for immediately, is check for anything in the system.
here's
If
what's
you
funny
say,
about
oh,
this
my
article.
may have like overdosed on something or poisoned or anything like that. I mean,
Apparently, according to this article, it says children ingesting pot. Sorry, I don't like the word. Is also dangerous because ER doctors aren't usually looking for it as the cause of any symptoms. And this was said by George Wang, who is a doctor for the Denver Health Rocky Mountains Poison and Drug Center. George, not
George
Georgia.
Wang.
George Wang,
It-
not Georgia. Georgia
la-
Ang.
The last
said
the
Wang.
last name should have given it away there.
Mr. Wang, Dr. Wang.
There's a Lulang Wang, a representative in Indiana that keeps bringing up legalization or medical marijuana. So that had nothing to do with anything other than Wang.
But he goes on to say that this can lead to invasive and expensive diagnostic efforts, as for example, a spinal tap or a CT scan if parents are embarrassed or scared to mention the true cause. So what we know will happen, which is the kid will just kind of have to
wait it out
wait
like
it out.
everybody else.
And
You are a horrible parent if you make your kid go through a spinal tap and you know that all they did was eat a brownie.
For
well,
real,
absolutely.
But that's got to be. I mean, that's a pretty scary situation that the government has. Well, you've put yourself in, but the government has created these ridiculous rules for you to have to follow.
Okay, we're going to have to take a break or Chris is going to scream at me, and it makes me so sad when I make him mad. So you're listening to iCannabis Radio. I'm Georgia. We'll be right back.
Let's face it, rules and regulations are complicated, especially in the field of medical marijuana. Let Medical Marijuana 101 help you get through the compliance process. We can also explain to you your employment requirements, your employees, and your business. But our work doesn't stop there. Our experience in cultivation ranges from the design of grow rooms to the diagnosis and resolution of grow problems. Visit us at www.medicalmarijuana101.com or call 303-388-7706. That's 303-388-7706.
Whether you are a commercial grower or cultivate as a hobby, No Dough Urban Garden Supply is Denver's first stop for your hydroponic grow needs. With a wide range of products including House and Garden, Botanicare, and Fox Farm, their knowledgeable staff can get you started on your first garden or help you with your well-established business. No Dough Urban Garden Supply is located in downtown Denver at 1330 27th Street, 4 blocks north of Coors Field near MMD of Colorado. They are open 6 days a week from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 303-296-3424 or visit them on the web at www.nodoughurbangardensupply.com.
Hi, you're listening to my mom, Georgia Edson, on iCannabisRadio.com.
On iCannabisRadio.com. That's so cute. I love it. So, Mountain Wookies, your store, more than just a glass shop. This is so exciting.
It's going to be more than a glass shop.
Really?
What's it going to be?
It's gonna have gifts, accessories of all sorts of,
I've already gotten some clothes there.
Yep. Yeah, you did get some clothes.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna try
Really
to carry about 10 or 12 different cool clotheslines, plus pick up local artist stuff. So that's gonna be pretty fun. Do a lot of hats. We have grassroots down the street, so we're gonna try not to impede on them at all. I'm gonna try to send people their way too.
So you're not going
Nice.
to do hats?
What's that?
You're not going to have a lot of hats?
We are gonna have hats, but we're gonna
Oh,
do
okay.
more like Rockies hats, stuff like that are for the neighborhood.
I like hats.
Yeah, and not we're gonna try to send people to their store all the time. Like,
So
do you
you're
have
gonna have-
grassroots? Be like, why don't you just go over to their store? It's only 3 blocks away.
But you're going to have a wide range of glass products. You're still going to carry a bunch of glass, but it's going to be for every price range, right?
Oh yeah, but yeah, we're gonna try to focus mostly on Colorado, like tube companies, and we've always had a pretty good relationship with most of the local glass blowers, and hopefully keep selling a lot of cool stuff. Had a lot of good compliments on the store recently. Had somebody come in today and said the glass selection was a lot better than some of the other 5,280 feet above sea level stores.
Nice. That's awesome. And you guys are going to have some big 420 stuff, right? Because you have this brand new big patio out in front of your store.
Yeah.
So
I think we're gonna barbecue and
you're going to have some vegetarian stuff?
definitely have some vegetarian stuff. And
See if we can't have some live glass blowing. Maybe somebody play some music for us out there.
crazy sales.
It's only 9 blocks from the Cup, so once the Cup's done, if you want to come by there, it'll still be sunny out.
We have a
Yeah.
rig for the cup.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're gonna open up super early that day too.
Yeah, y'all are gonna open at 8:40. We'll probably open up at 9.
We might rage it like even all night. Who knows?
Who knows?
Whoa.
MMD of Colorado is
He's
going
like,
to open at 8:40 since we can't open at 4:20, and so we're going to have super early morning specials. And then as soon as these guys open, the specials are done. So,
Oh, yeah, we're gonna sell all of your patients our hot dogs and burgers that day.
oh yeah, lots of food, lots of excitement.
I think it's
just
free.
It's just oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
Doing a keg. I think maybe.
Whoa, a keg.
Maybe a keg.
Whoa.
there.
Whoa, easy.
Whoa.
whoa.
That's not the worst idea.
Maybe donated anonymously.
Right, do I have to write a check right now or something? Is that what you're saying?
That's funny.
I want a question.
T-
yeah, it's
everything's to be announced.
so location of Mountain Wookies.
2615 Walnut Street, right next to MMD.
Across the street from Castleman's, who's also having the Hemp Connoisseur magazine is having a fantastic event there that night with Barrington Levy.
Nice.
Yeah. I kind of love him. I love all of these old reggae guys.
Yeah.
I have a cat named Tosh. I have a cat named Pato.
They were here last
You
year
know.
too.
He.
He.
I mean, he
just
has
by
a they,
himself, I mean,
but he's
Yeah.
he's a he, and he's sharp.
What did
He's sharp.
Buju Benton get in trouble for last year and have to go to jail for?
They're not related.
I know.
They're not related, and it was awful.
They played together. It was awful. What was it? He had like a bunch of cocaine or something.
No, it was worse than that.
Oh,
It was
was
worse
it?
than that. It was totally worse than that. Well,
Crazy.
super excited. Mountain Wookies is going to be fantastic. You guys just got your new logo, right? And so that'll
we
be
have a new logo.
The logo's pretty groovy.
yeah. We'll have that up on the website pretty soon. As soon as someone sends it to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Couple days.
Yeah.
Couple
Still
days.
waiting on the
Got-
final.
There's 2
Final
revisions.
I didn't really know what a
There's a
Wookiee was,
spelling
but I
error.
know.
Get a
Yeah,
better
apparel.
idea.
How do you spell apparel?
With 2 P's and 1 R.
Apparel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not apparel.
Apparel.
Yeah.
No, we're just gonna cut an R out and it'll be all good.
It'll be all good. Add some teeth.
It'll be all good. Yep.
Earl good.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So what's the best seller in your shop right now, besides the vitamin water zeros?
Mexican Cokes.
Atlas Raws, huge
Yeah.
seller. We sell those every day. Butane.
Got really good prices
Cheap
on
butane.
butane. Anybody out
You guys have
there?
butane in stock right now?
We
Yeah.
do. every
It's
day.
hard to keep butane in stock. So
Yes.
We got a
Mountain
bunch
Wookies.
of Power 5X. If anybody, we got great master case prices. Anybody out there listening?
Nice.
So, what else?
That's good stuff. Are you guys excited?
I'm super
Absolutely.
excited.
I can tell.
John's
yeah,
cool.
the Johns are excited.
Not so excited.
It's hard enough to come back after a day of fishing to have to do the show is a lot. I know. I feel the same way after a day of skiing.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, I go and do the hard work here. Well, super excited. These guys are going to be on the show a lot. I'm telling them that. I haven't really gotten a response to asking them, so I've just decided that they're going to be on the show a lot because that's going to be awesome. So speaking of the show, we've got iCannabis Radio has a whole bunch of stuff going on this week. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Of course, you know what happens tomorrow night, right? Between 6 and 8.
What?
Sex Ball Radio.
Sexy radio.
Sex Bar Radio
I
is
can barely even listen to that.
Hey, sexy radio.
I have to barely put. No, I can listen to it. I can listen to it fantastically, but I have to put.
Take a shower.
I need you to stop talking right now. Stop talking right now.
Why?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I'm not
I
going to
don't
put
wanna know.
anything weird anywhere.
Whoa.
Is that what you're talking about? I mean, that's what
don't
I was thinking. I was going. This is not Sex Pot Radio right now. No, I'm easily embarrassed, so I have to
okay.
put my fingers in my ears, or I don't know what you were thinking.
I don't know. I was just. Let's move on.
I can.
So.
I have no clue where she was going with that one.
So Tuesday is Sex Pot Radio. So exciting, 6 to 8. Don't miss it live. It's so much fun to watch it live. I mean, I end up having to watch the recorded shows because it's nighttime is almost as tough as morning time in my
Funniest
house.
one ever was the anal bleaching one.
Oh my god!
That show makes me blush.
Did you see the live one?
I've seen.
Have you heard about it?
I heard about that one.
You have to watch
I
it.
listened, and they were talking about.
China.
I can't even.
Sam, does your mom listen to Sex Pot Radio?
He said probably.
That's probably
My mom doesn't either. Neither does my dad. Just saying.
You better not listen to that.
The glassworker Jen Levine, I was talking to her, and she said her grandma was listening when she was on a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Dear goodness!" So
Paul's mom used to watch. We used to listen all the time.
but that's Paul's
Peggy.
mom.
I know, but I still don't want to say anything embarrassing in front of sweet Peggy.
She is pretty sweet.
And then Thursday, the Hemp Connoisseur magazine from 4 to 5 p.m. Don't forget to check them out. You know, there's so much going on in the hemp world, and you guys will get your number one everything with listening to David on Thursday afternoons. And of course, Monday through Friday, every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., John Doe Radio.
Yep.
You guys have a pretty jam-packed schedule. You and Bike are doing an excellent job. We're so happy that
we
you
got
are back on.
3-4 guests a week usually. We had Weed Country's Mike Booten today, and Tawny Booten. I got in lots of arguments with him during Prop 19. We didn't see eye to eye very much.
Eye to eye.
Eye to eye. I don't know, man. It's late in the afternoon. I've done like
A lot of radio today.
looking at
4 hours
somebody
of
with an
radio
extra
today.
eye.
Right.
Yeah. But
eye
anyway, it
to
was-
eye would be if it was me, because I'm got it glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
So
like
it's
that.
cool.
That's the second time we've used that joke today.
No, it wasn't funny twice.
It wasn't really funny once either.
Oh, Jim Free on Wednesday. So he's a really knowledgeable, smart dude. So check him out on Facebook. Jim Free. He's one of my friends on Facebook. If you guys would like to learn more.
Monday is a big day. Is right now our busiest day on iCannabis Radio because of course Tim's in the morning, and then in the lab with Jennifer from 3 to 4, all of your science cannabis news, and then of course I'm on at 7 p.m. with these guys. And like I said, next week we're going to talk about my 420 tours, and it's pretty exciting. So thank you so much for listening to iCannabis Radio. I'm Georgia. I'm in the studio with a whole bunch of guys. Say hi, a whole bunch of guys.
See ya.
Nice. Say bye, a whole bunch of guys. See you guys next week. Thanks so much.